Hi there, it's me. I am just checking in for my 6.5 week kind of check-in. It's been a while. Things have gotten really busy. Kids have started school, and now with physical therapy plus school plus all the other things we do, it's just gotten hard to do anything. So I wanted to update. 6 weeks was sort of my magic date when I thought kind of the splint would come off and everything would be amazing and feel a lot better. And I was partially right. I went to my doctor's appointment about five weeks in, and they cleared me to do gravity exercises, which is great. So I could do different physical therapy exercises rather than just laying on my back and pushing my arm up and down. But he was saying that the splint should be worn basically anytime that the elbow is in danger, which is pretty much like any time, because I could fall and hurt it any time. And so I got really, really sad thinking, oh, I'm gonna have to wear it every time I go for a walk. I have to wear it every time I go for a drive. I have to wear it, basically doing anything, because you could literally like bang it into something anytime. So after talking to my physical therapist and kind of taking matters into my own hand, I did end up weaning myself off over about a week-ish. It was pretty quick, and the last thing that I weaned off was wearing it at night, which was hard to do. I tried the first night and I had to put it back on just because it hurt being out of its position. But the next night I was able to sleep the whole night with it, and while it wakes me up and I have to turn and I put it on, it has its own pillow now in the bed. It's been great to have the splint off. So the splint off is pretty much at all times. I think the only time I would wear it is if I was doing something that was out of the ordinary, like if I went for a hike or if I go visit the horse I used to ride and the family with the puppies that are a little crazy. So I would wear it just to make sure it's protected then. But it's been great to be out of it. It is, it's going. It is, the scar you can kind of see is looking pretty good, and this is the one here. It's swollen, it's literally always swollen. I ice it quite a bit. I take ibuprofen quite a bit. It's not terrible, but it just gets sore. And then this part right here is still numb. I can feel it inside, but this outside skin is still very numb right here. So that hasn't come back yet. I am able to straighten it. I guess you can't see it very well. There you go. That's about as straight as I can get it, and that's been with a whole lot of work. So you can see this arm and this arm. So not terrible. And then I can, it's funny, I have to ease it. I can start here, and then I just have to kind of push it back, and I can actually get to my ear, but it just takes a second. It's so funny. And then I can't put my hair back in a ponytail yet, but I can get my hand on the top of my head and see my hand doesn't turn that way, so I can get it here, so if I need to wash my hair I can kind of do that, which is really funny. This has been the slowest progress, so turning this way I can get to here, which has actually been a huge improvement just over the last couple days. And then this one seems fine. Not super worried about that one, but this one has definitely, we've gotten more aggressive with it. I now hold a hammer and kind of let it fall this way and that way to help the twisting, because this is a huge thing. I mean, just holding your hand out to accept change, or to, like I said, put your hair in a ponytail or wash your hair or anything. It's very, very tricky to not have that movement. So I've been working on it. I can't lift anything over 5 pounds. I've actually been babying it, I think, a lot more than I probably should have, but I just didn't know. I didn't know, what I could do. There's been a couple times a bug landed on it. I wasn't sure what it was, and I flailed and I flung my arm and it hurt. And then I tried to cut an onion, which was really hard, and the knife went this way, and thank goodness I didn't cut myself, but my arm went that way and it jammed it again. So a couple jars, but so far everything's going okay with it. I I think the biggest thing for me now is that it gets so stiff. It feels like there's concrete. Like when I try to straighten it out, it feels like there's like, I don't know, like a concrete pin right here that just sends these shooting, spikes up, and it like literally feels like this is gonna break if I push it farther. So I just have to sit there and kind of let gravity kind of take it, to let it get as straight as possible, which is difficult. And it feels like, I told my physical therapist, it feels like cement wrapped in like a foam covering. It gets so stiff, and in the morning I have to start moving it because it is so stiff. I'm supposed to be doing exercises every hour. I literally, if I'm somewhere, I'm either hanging this arm down or reaching up to my shoulder or twisting or doing the hammer or up against the wall. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff. We do wall things like this, which has been great, especially with this motion right here, so I can bend it here now, which was tricky before. Anyway, lots and lots of physical therapy all the time, constantly moving it. I asked her today when this like concrete foam feeling will go away, and she said that it would probably go away most likely 6 to 12 months, somewhere in that range. And yeah, that's really hard because waking up that stiff, and then, I mean, it's stiff all day long. The best days are physical therapy days because she heats it, she like pulls all my joints out of place and puts them all back, and then she like makes me, stretch it on the machine. I did a little bit of weight today, bicep and tricep, and then there's a bike that I can do. And by the end of that, I can actually move it better. It still doesn't get straighter, but at least I can move it better and less pain. But it's been a few hours since my last physical therapy session, and it's starting to get stiff again. So it's just crazy. Like, I think the more I'm trying to push it more, I'm trying to use it for things. If I need something, I'll and it's light enough, I'll force myself to reach for it with this hand, which is really funny because it's like it's such a little movement, but the hand, it just can't make it. But as much as I can do it, I'm trying to move it. I was really down in the dumps for that week after he told me that I couldn't just be out of the splint and be free, but things have gotten better. It's nice to be able, to be out of the splint. I took a walk last week, I think it was like Wednesday or Thursday, and it was the first day that I had been outside without the splint, and I felt the wind on the hairs on the back of my arm, and it was such a weird feeling. I was like hyper aware of this wind on my arm, and that was really strange, and I realized there has not been wind on my arm in 2.5 months. The other thing is that I have been able to move upstairs into my bed. My husband is out of town on a work trip, and so I am trying to figure out how much space I'm actually going to need to take from him when he gets back, and see how that works out. But that's been really nice as well. I can do some dishes if they're not heavy enough. I cooked some soup, trying to cut that onion, so that went okay. Still very slow, still a little clumsy, but I can drive now, no problem, which is great. I can get my hair up in some sort of semblance of something, which is awesome. I actually might cut my hair just because I'm sick of dealing with it. It's long, and it's been difficult. I can't pull it back into a ponytail yet, just because you can kind of see my hand just doesn't want to. It just doesn't want to turn, and it's very stiff and hard to hold on to things. But other than that, I can dress myself, I can put socks on, I can tie my shoes. That was super exciting. That just happened last week. It was so cool to wear regular shoes and not my slip-on shoes, which is fabulous. There was something else that happened last week that was exciting, but now I can't remember what it was. But tying shoes was definitely something that was something I was looking forward to, because that can help me walk and I can wear my better shoes, and I just don't look like I'm just wearing slippers all the time. So yes, that's about where I am at 6.5 weeks. No crazy pains unless I swat at bugs or slip when I'm cutting onions, and it just soreness, very stiff, need to move it a lot, love physical therapy, and then basically getting back to most things. I am on my own this week. as my husband is out of town taking care of the kiddos. Thank goodness my kiddos are older, teenagers, so that they can help a lot, which is great. And I joined a Pilates studio, so I'm doing Pilates a couple times a week, which has been really good because I can do it without this arm, though it sometimes gets tricky. But that's been a really nice way to kind of get the strength, because I was just so tired after surgery and I just rested for so long. I feel like my body's like withered away. So it's been nice to get back to something active and strength building. And while I can't like bear any weight with this, I can, move it when, with it. I don't hold anything. It just is all by itself. But that's been really good. So it's nice. I think that is it. So I just, like I said, 6.5 weeks, wanted to update. I will do another update as we go, but that's where I am right now. Hope you all are good. All right, bye.